guys, Ultimate Toy Collector here. Today we're going to take a look at Mezco's new 112 Collective Spider-Man. Now this is the regular version of Spider-Man. We've already seen Miles Morales. We know we've had Spider-Man Homecoming. We have a black suit Spidey. So this is the regular classic version of Spidey. It comes in the regular box that we've seen, the larger box, not the smaller one, the convention one. The other ones used to have like the fold out label. This is the little sleeve. All right, we can pull it up. Take a look real quick. It's got a little spider insignia on the side, and on the back here shows us our 5 web lines. It says right here 4 assorted web lines, 1 posable web line. He has an alternate head, so it means it comes with 2 heads. He's got 4 sets of hands, a display base, and adjustable posing post. All right, and it says ages 18 and up, and features over 30 points of articulation. So let's open this up and take a look. So here we have Spidey out of the box. This is our regular classic version. Spidey blue and red costume. We have all of his accessories out here, so you can take a look. You see right here we have 3 sets plus the set that's obviously on the figure, so he's got 4 sets of hands. Here is the additional head, the alternate head. Now if you take a look, this version has a more squinted eye look on it, almost like this is a more classic type of look, versus the one that's on him is a more modern style. We'll put that there. Now, one thing that I've seen people actually talk about with the alternate head was that there were issues with the white in the eyes. Mine seems to be pretty clean, no issues, so no complaints here, and even this one I'll show you has no issues. Now the webbing, this is the posable web line, which is actually pretty long if you look at it. This is the one that I guess you can wrap around, you know, for pictures, posing, and get a pretty good wrap on it. And it's got the little bald effect on the side, on the end of it, I should say. Then we have these web lines. Now I was looking at the web lines before. These are as if he was shooting them. The way it looks is that you remove the hand, put this over the peg, put the hand back on, and it gives it the effect like he's shooting it. And you have 4 different styles. So I will show you that in a minute. And then we have the base here, and there's a stand that I didn't take out, that attaches to the stand, and you can give him a in-flight type of pose. So as far as this head, take a look. Eyes are pretty clean, no issues with the eyes here. Head, very easy to swap, just pop it. There we go. And there's your other look. Now, me personally, I prefer this head sculpt. I like the wider eyes. This is the little narrower version. But to me, this kind of reminds me of a classic type of Spidey look. Old school. So, the other thing, let's take a look. The body on this Spider-Man is the slimmer Mezco body, not as big and bulky as most of the other ones we've seen, but it goes well, and no issues with the shoulders being like too like the ball joints sticking out or anything. Let me put that head back on. There, see, I like the way that one looks. And I'll just give him a regular static pose, just so you can see. I think that fits well with his body. And you can see like with the muscle tone almost through the outfit. I think it looks really well. This reminds me of Spidey as you're looking at it. Now, one thing I want to show you, so before we get into the articulation, just size-wise, and I'm going to remove the base. All right, so here we have Spider-Man flat down, and this is our Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Rhino. Size comparison. I think he's perfectly in scale with Rhino. And I even have another villain that's pretty large. We have Sandman. Of course, I have two of, there we go. Alright, so we have Sandman and Rhino. And I think Spidey actually is a perfect scale. So you can actually use your Mezco with your Hasbro Build-A-Figures, and fits perfectly. That's one thing I like about the Mezco figures. They do allow you to not only use with Mezco products, but also with some other brands, specifically Hasbro, where the scale is still good and you're not going to have any issues. It's not going to look too big, too small. Now, I would love to see Mezco tackle these two guys as villains. That would be something that would be crazy dope, especially now that they're getting into other styles where it's not just the cloth body, they're doing like an armored type of body. I would love to see what they could possibly do with Rhino, but that's just me, and you know, who knows, maybe we'll eventually see that. But as far as scale, perfectly in scale there for a 6-inch figure. And we'll take him out of the way. Alright, so now let's take a look at, actually let's get rid of these hands. So we're going to get rid of these hands. And what webs do you guys want to see? We'll do this web. So you see it goes right there. If you look right underneath, you can kind of see it here. There's a little split on the bottom of the palm here, where that's where the webbing, this piece, let me show you. So this piece here, it goes over the peg right here on his hand, and then it kind of comes just like that, if you can see. So that's how this is set up there. So it's perfect for his web slinging. And let me see which ones have that. So only the web shooting hands have that that little cutout there, so that it fits snugly on there. So it's right here, and then just goes over the peg, and that goes over that. All right, and gives it that web throwing effect for our Spider-Man. And as far as the pegs fit snugly in there. So there. Get up close. Almost looks like he's shooting it out at you. Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever Spider-Man can. Alright, so I'm going to take that off. There we go. And so there we go. Now, let's take a look at the outfit itself. So the outfit itself obviously is a cloth material, and it has the, I'm not even sure, it's not plastic, but it's the different material that goes over it, over the actual cloth here. Stitching on this is pretty good. I know people tend to nitpick. Again, these are toys, these are dolls, but the stitching in some of the Mezco outfits, I know I myself have had issues, especially with like Wolverine. But let's just take a look and see if we have any issues. Everything on the front looks pretty smooth, no snags or anything. Um, Under the arms, there's a little bit of bunching in the material where it's stitched up, but not horribly. Obviously, these are the seams where it comes together, so that's to be slightly expected. As we go around the back, I would say just back here along the buttocks line is probably the worst that I would see. I mean, I know some people would probably nitpick this right here under the arm, but that's just on the seam. It's not really a snag, I don't think. And along here, you know, it's not as smooth as I would like it, but I don't think it's going to tear. You know, obviously depending on how you use it, if you're trying to rip his spider suit off, then yeah, it might tear. But and then besides that, on the back, everything up here is pretty smooth in the material. Now we'll get into like the posing with it, or the posability. But with the face, I think the sculpting and how symmetrical like the lines are in the face, I think they did a great job with that. Obviously, Spidey's a little harder because you got to get those lines just perfect. But I think they did a good job of capturing it with the larger eyes and with the littler eyes. Even down to the neck here, good lines with the neck. Um, the hands are all pretty smooth. You know, I took a look at a lot of the hands. I don't see any issues with the hands and the boots. So we'll take a look at the boots here. Now I do like that it seems they gave like Spidey like Jordans, not Jordans, but some Nikes. Look at that, some Spidey Nikes, which is a little different than what we've previously seen with Spider-Man figures. These actually look like sneakers, which I really like a lot. All right, so I do like the slim body on him, and so posability wise, head, we got a good range of motion. You can get, if we're having him standing straight, excellent range of motion on the head. And obviously the head comes off, so it will spin all the way around, but the neck joint itself is awesome. All right, full range of motion in the shoulders, and it's not really bunching up, so you can, I mean, you can get a good running, jumping pose. For some awesome like posing and just how to really use your figures, the amazing. If you watch any of his stuff, he does some awesome posing with his figures, really on point. So good range of motion. We have ab crunching here, side, right here in the hips. You get a good split, good kick back and forward. Double jointed knees. You can see right in here, full double jointed knees, double jointed elbows as well. So Spidey really has awesome range of motion. Now we get down here to the ankles, full range of motion in the ankles. No toe pivots. that's one thing, you know, I think Spidey could have had, was maybe like a little articulation in the toes. But besides that, I think he's pretty good. Let's change out these hands. What other hands? So let's do like some wall crawling hands. So overall, I think this is a really good figure for Spidey, for you know, regular Spidey. Um, I guess one thing that I do wish came with this figure, and you know, I've said it before, some Mezco figures, is an unmasked head, especially Spidey. You know, down the line we might get one, but for Peter Parker, Miles Morales, you know, that unmasked head probably would have gone a long way for Spidey fans, and I kind of wish that we would have got that, especially on you know, a release like this. But nonetheless, we do have a lot of accessories, so I can't knock it. And figure's pretty cool. Like I said, I like the slim body on it. I think it goes very well with Spidey. Lines are symmetrical. Paint apps are good on it. Stitching is pretty good as well. And I love the Nike Spider shoes. So, here's our Mezco 112 Collective Spider-Man. Thank you for watching me. Check me out on the Ultimate Toy Collector on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and Cool Dad Pop Culture Reviews, and also always Toy News International. And until next time, guys, happy hunting.